Hi there, welcome to United and Everything Football Podcast. My name is Kwame. I'm here with Kwame and Chubuesiako. Another 2-2 draw to the game where we comfortably led, but some way, somehow, through some decisions I still cannot understand, led to us drawing that game. In fact, we had to fight back to get a last goal in the final minutes to be able to get ourselves drawing that game at the Tottenham Hotspur Sports Stadium. Once again, in the last 7 games, I think we failed to beat Tottenham Hotspurs. Quite unfortunate, but we are here to discuss everything on United and Everything Football. Remember, this is brought to you by Bazov Mosquito Repellent Bracelet. You need one for yourself. Make sure you get one for yourself. You can wear it on your wrist. You can wear it. I mean, to be able to buzz off mosquitoes. For the past 2 games, we've not been able to buzz off teams. We've only contained them. All right, but Bazov will always help you buzz off. So remember to get yourself a Bazov Mosquito Repellent Bracelet. Kwame, great to have you on the podcast once again.
Yeah, I'm confused. I don't know how to feel. See, is it?
I'm annoyed.
Is it a point gain or 2 points lost? That's the question I'm asking myself.
2 points lost in my opinion, because to be in absolute control of this game and to have lost it and to sort of fight
almost
back
lost it.
in that, almost lost it. And to be able to fight back, you would commend the bit of the mental resilience to still go ahead to get the goal. But I am annoyed. 4 points dropped in 2 away games. Not the best. Definitely not the best. Kwame.
We'll take into it after the break, because I'm conflicted as to how to feel. I'm very conflicted.
Myself, I'm not conflicted. I am annoyed. I am extremely annoyed. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll dissect everything here on United and Everything Football. We'll be right back after this. All right, thank you very much for being a part of the podcast. Remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification. But we know you are all disappointed, just like ourselves. A game where we should have been winning, but unfortunately we found ourselves getting a draw. Kwame, I don't know, where do you start from? I know I want to share with us your dilemma, share with us your confusion, share with us your conflicts, or how conflicted you are.
The funny thing is, at halftime in our last 2 games, I always check the Premier League table, and we are always second. By the end of the game, then we are 7th or 8th.
And if you are not careful, by the end of the game week,
we'll be 11th.
We might be
10th or 11th, ruining everything. No, but see, I'm conflicted because a part of me makes me feel like the fact that we are not losing these games and showing some resilience at the end of these games, be it with 10 men or 11 men or whatnot, it's supposed to be a positive, an improvement on last season. And there are away games, and the way I view away games is that if you're not going to win them, at least don't lose them. Make sure you win your home games, and then we'll be well on our way. It's this fixture in particular that makes it extremely annoying. The fact that we haven't beaten this team for now 5 games on a bounce. It's extremely frustrating. And for 75 minutes, it looked like a game that we were just going to easily see out, but for certain circumstances, and I'm sure that's what we have to get into. But we can't start from anywhere by the lineup. I think the lineup posed a bit of surprise and shock for Thomas Frank. I've been calling for Amarum to do some catch, show us some moves, not just play everything into the opponent's hands. Everybody knows what we are going to do on the day. The lineup was surprising in the sense that he started Mazraoui at right wing back and then also played Ahmad as a front 3, but moved Mbumo to the left of the front 3, Cunha up front instead of Sesko. The rest were as expected. Okay, then Maguire also came into central centre back, Matthijs de Ligt at right centre back. That alone spoke to how the game would pan out, in the sense that we are going to cede possession. We would want them to come onto us, and then we would want to catch them on a break. For the first 20 to 25 minutes of the game, I was a bit uncomfortable because it was more open than I would have liked. But it was all about getting the first goal, as Mame would say when she comes on the pot. The first goal always sort of puts us in a very good situation to be able to play the game the way we want to play it, or the way that I think we can best play football games, which is to be compact, sit tight, and then catch teams on the break. Because when we try playing and try to be expansive, we are too open and teams just bypass us. We're having problems in the first 20-25 minutes with this guy. What's his name? The Dutch boy for Spurs. The one who's been having a terrible time, the expensive sign. Javi Simons.
Yes, Javi Simons.
Javi
Yes,
Simons and
I mean
Johnston.
he was playing in between the lines very
Exactly.
very
I,
well. I
I,
mean,
I I
receiving the
was not
ball in between
comfortable
the
with that
lines.
at all. So I was just saying, I was just
Yeah,
begging for the first goal. Starting in Bumo on the left, I think was a tactic to stop Pedro Porro from foraging up front most of the time, keep him busy. Because if you've been watching Spurs, Pedro Porro is a huge outlet for them in terms of their offensive game, crosses and
correct,
everything.
correct.
So I think putting our best forward there was just to make sure that it nullifies Porro. And for most parts of that first half, it actually did. And the game
Yeah,
plan worked in the sense that we got a first goal. Well worked first
yeah.
goal between our two African stars who will be going for the AFCON very soon. I don't know where that leaves us, but they are our two most informed forwards because they seem to be combining very well. The bit
Yeah.
of ding dong in the box, ball falls to Ahmad on the right hand side, and he chips the ball to the other side where Imbumu meets it's clinically. Very good first goal. And I feel like, from then, yeah, we're just going to play them on the break. I don't think Cunha had a very good game. And he has not had a good game for quite some time now. And it's something that we have to talk about because he's supposed to be our
Yeah,
maverick.
yeah.
After the Brighton game, the next game against Forest has not been good. This game has even been worse. We can't afford that for Matthijs Cunha. Just like in Bumo, he's supposed to be a big player, supposed to be a big son, he's supposed to step up, but he's not stepping up. I think what happened was we got into halftime where we needed to be, but in the second half, we sat back too much, in my opinion. We invited
Yeah,
too much pressure, too many crosses,
yeah.
too many set pieces. And but for Lamens, the equalizer would have even come earlier. I would say this: I do not have any problem with any sub that Ruben Amorim made. Not even a single one of them. He made all those
Yep,
subs when he was supposed to make them. When certain
yep.
players come on, they're supposed to come on and do a certain job. And that takes us to the conversation of our number nine. When our number nine came on, at half that we were literally on the ropes, where chances were going to be of the premium. When the chances come, you have to
Mm-hmm.
make the most of them. You are brought in as a 72 million pound
Absolutely.
striker to ice the game, as they will say in basketball, ice it. Mbuma plays a lovely ball for you, true on goal. For me, that's true on goal. You get into the box, and I don't know, your strongest foot is supposed to be your left foot, but you want to bring the ball back
Mm-hmm.
inside on your right foot, and doesn't even get a shot away, doesn't even get an attempt at goal.
He's right-footed,
Is
so he's
he
the strongest foot.
right-footed? Okay,
Yeah, he's
right-footed instead. No,
right-footed.
but I mean, I said,
No, I get it. I mean, I get the argument that as a striker, I mean, he should be able to, I
oh, but he
mean,
is
score from
right-footed.
both
Yeah,
foots.
exactly. You should be able to
He's
take. You should be able
right-footed.
to take the shots on your left foot.
The ball on your left.
There is
Yes.
there is no need for you to even pull it back. And even if you are going to pull it back, assuming, of course, now you've corrected me, your right foot is your strongest foot. You have to make sure you get that shot away. The Spurs make some subs, including taking off Pedro Porro, and then
Yeah.
the only fault I'll give Amorim is I expected him to probably move Ibumo back to his favorite position and Mount on
Yeah.
the other side. But he
Definitely.
maintained
Yeah.
Mount playing on the right, Ibumo on the left. That's just a slight fault I'd give him. But aside that, there was nothing else wrong with anything that he was doing.
Absolutely.
And when Spurs did find the equalizer, we had a glorious opportunity where Mount plays an exquisite reverse pass for you true on goal. And you think as a striker in the Premier League, you have all the time in the world.
You have
Kwame,
he definitely forgot the people that he was coming up against.
don't
Those defenders
don't
are
give Van
beasts.
de Ven any chance.
They w- they would slide.
Take,
They would be able
take
to
it as quickly
take
as
it
possible.
off you, as simple as that.
See, when
Kwame,
Erling Haaland came into the league last season, sometimes he wasn't even touching the ball for most parts of the game. But when
just
that opportunity comes, he decided them. He was just clinical. See, 2 chances, you have to take at least one. The last game against Forest, you had 3 opportunities, you have to take at least one. And I'm sure that leads to where you want to take this conversation to. So I'll leave the floor to you.
One, probably not a mistake. 2, I won't give you an opportunity to do that. 3, that's actual stupidity. It is stupidity. It's stupidity in the sense that our failure to get a top striker at Manchester United is why we are here. It's why a striker that we have bought. So I'm forgetting Sesko. I'm going right at the recruitment department for making these errors. We have been crying for 3 seasons. 3. Get us a top striker. Get us a Premier League proven striker. Get us a striker who knows and understands the terrain. Get us a striker which befits Manchester United. Not these rookies, not these strikers coming from different leagues who are taking time or are going to take time to adjust to the league. Don't do that to us. You have done it again. In a game where our striker should have struck the ball to give us 2-1, the striker decided to fumble it and even went down injured, leading to us playing 10 against 11 for most parts of the game, or the most
Insults
parts
to injury.
of the dying embers of the game.
Insults to injury.
Now, what do? It was at that point that Spurs capitalizes and scores.
He let us down.
This
He
is
let
where
us
we
down,
are.
Kwame. He let us down.
Man United recruitment team. This is where we are. This is where we are. I'm sure you would look at that and you'd be happy. I am not blaming anyone but the recruitment department. It happened when you brought in Rasmus Højlund. It happened when you brought in Joshua Zexi. It has happened with Benjamin Sesko. This is Manchester United, for crying out loud. This is Manchester United. Manchester United that has boasts of top strikers. Why are you at first? We've discussed. If you follow this podcast, you would hear us say we were at the other end of the spectrum signing Olumen, right? But even them, they delivered.
Yeah, they did. They scored.
Our problem, yes, God.
They just did.
Zlatan was
Just
delivering.
longevity was the
Ronaldo
issue.
delivered. Cavani delivered, right? So you see, what stops us from getting an experienced striker?
We are not saying
And
we are not
adding
saying
these rookies to
somebody
it.
that is like so old, but somebody at least
No,
who is proven,
a Premier
accomplished,
League. I mean,
preferably Premier
We
League
need
proven.
strikers, Premier League proven
You know, the
strikers. This is what we are calling for.
the funny thing is, you were even more adamant that we should do this, but I was like, you know what? I'm hoping that we can't be 3 times unlucky. If you remember, like I was just saying,
I remember.
like
I said,
it's almost
let's
like
not do it.
we can't be so
Kwame, let's
unlucky
not do
3
it.
times.
My anger started from second season. I was for Ivan Toney, if you remember.
Yeah.
When we were doing Zegzi, I was like, get a Premier League. Still, even this season, I was for Oli Watkins. Forget the form he's in. He comes in there and he does something.
He's scoring
Trust
these
me.
goals. He's scoring these goals.
It was Watkins, left foot, right foot. Oh, gentlemen. I'm so annoyed. I mean, my annoyance stems from this. I have absolutely no problem with Ruben Amorim
Kwame.
today.
Oh no, zero. I've seen people go at the coaches because they are looking at it in hindsight. But if you analyze the substitutions and what he tried to do to manage the game down the stretch, players just have to come on and do their job, especially our striker. Come and finish the game, ice the game.
If the moment he brought in those 3 subs, the game turned because we were so deep because Casemiro could not sprint. He could not move a bit further up the pitch. So they had to sit deep. But the moment he brought in Mount, he brought in Ugarte, we were able to push a bit forward. That was when those chances started falling
up
to Sesko. Because prior to that, we were not creating anything. We were so deep because we lacked players who could move the ball a bit forward.
This is the coach using plan A and then switching to plan B. And plan B is you are here now. Ice the game. Finish it. Finish the game and let's just call it a day.
It was the whole game. I'm sorry. It was all on Sesko.
Sesko.
Sorry,
he fucked us up today.
It's on him.
You know what is worse? At least stay on the pitch, even after missing that or not taking that opportunity. Why do you leave your team down by a man? Like, how do you do that on top of that? I swear to God, I said this in my mind. I said he's just embarrassed about it.
I put it when we in our common
He's just
chat. I
embarrassed
tweeted. We
about
say
this.
anywho.
Kwame,
See,
January is not far away.
Manchester
January is not
United
far
needs.
away.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
We
yes,
have to
yes.
fix this.
Let's rectify that.
Let Zexi
Let's
go
rectify that.
because clearly the
Let's
coach doesn't
rectify
rate
that.
Zexi, and we don't even know what
Let's
Zexi is.
rectify that.
But we have to let Zexi go and bring in a Premier League proven striker. Get Ivan Toney out of Saudi Arabia as quickly as possible and bring him back to the Premier League
Let's
on loan.
rectify that.
Bring him back to the Premier League on loan, Ivan Toney. I don't want to hear
Where is
any
Mitrovic?
excuse.
Where is
Mitrovic is
Mitrovic?
even there. Go and bring Mitrovic. Go and bring Mitrovic from Saudi. See, go to Saudi Arabia and bring us a striker. Repeat the Igalo move. Bring us a striker from Saudi Arabia. There are Premier League proven strikers in Saudi Arabia. Bring them home. Bring them home. Mitrovic will do bits. Ivan Toney will do wonders for 6 months, at the very least. Stop this childish thing. See, when Amorim gets it completely wrong, no one calls it out more than us. But when the players fuck things up, and people will be reluctant to talk about it because they are new signings. Cunha is playing like shit lately. Sesko is not living up to the billing.
For so many occasions,
They have to step up.
Cunha gets the ball, and
He
then
thinks he's the only
what is
person
he
on
trying to do?
the pitch.
Are you the only? You have players, you have people making runs, going ahead of you.
Step up.
Release the ball, pass the ball. Then it leads to a turnover. Then it sits. That was why I said the changes he made actually pushed us a bit forward. Because Mount gets the ball, he's looking up. Mbumo gets the
He's
ball,
looking for
he's
a
looking
striker.
up. And there
Even
are
Patrick
people are
Dogu,
moving.
played a very beautiful ball over the top. Sesko was true, and all he did was just stop the play rather than attack. He was waiting for support. I was like, the whole space is there. Take the player on 1v1. What are you doing? See, I know players. I know fans fall in love with new players quickly, but if we want to get to where we want to get to, we have to hold everybody to the same standards. Our two forwards in Sesko and Cunha have to step up the same way Mbumo has. No excuses. If they can't step up, in January we have to bring more firepower. See, when Gary Neville said what he said about Cunha, I've been saying to you that as football fans of our club, sometimes we feel like we forget that we support Manchester United. And Manchester United, what this criticism is supposed to do is to ginger you to go into the next game to try and prove a point to Gary Neville and everybody else by scoring goals, by scoring clinches, by icing games. Imagine what the goal would have done for his confidence today, or the sort of pushback to the criticism would be if he had actually won us the football game today. That's how you respond to criticism. In the past, it's not like Manchester United players were not criticized. Perhaps people are too young or social media didn't exist then. But the criticisms were heavy. The attacks were heavy. But those players would go out every week and try and prove that they are either the best players in the world or just out of retribution or just to shut people up. Score goals, perform. We don't have to baby players and go like, oh, Gary Neville should stop that. As a football fan, as a fan of Manchester United, stop it. You claim that these players are sports babied. Perhaps because these are new players, you don't want to say that. These players should be treated like they play for Manchester United. If you play for a big club, you are criticized. What you do is you meet the criticism with performance. Sesko is not some 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old. He's 22 years old. Seasoned professional, if you are being very honest. That is why I was hoping his circumstance wouldn't be the same as Hoyland. He's supposed to come into the Prem and then prove a point. We've had other players coming from the Bundesliga. Is he the only striker who's come from the Bundesliga this season? Voltemad or whatever that his name is. The German striker who is playing for Newcastle United. What's he doing? Isn't he scoring goals? He's the only striker to come from the Bundesliga. See, when you come in as a £72 million striker, get to work. And we should hold those players by those standards, get to work. Enough. We've had so many years where we have always gone back and forth when it comes to players, just based on favoritism and whatnot. Everybody should be held to the same standards. If the coach isn't doing well, we call it. If the players are shitting themselves, including the new ones, we have to call it as well. They have to step up. But on a slight positive, Kwame, I'll just end with a slight positive. That's how come I started my whole thing with. It's look like I'm conflicted as to. I feel, if I'm being honest, it's not 2 point lost. It's a point gain because if we had lost to Spurs, it would have been a huge body blow psychologically. Losing to Spurs for the 5th time in a row. And at the end of the day, we have to remember that our striker left us with 10 men. And we're almost always bound to lose that game when we had gone down by a man. But to fight back again, a couple of games in a row, away from home, to make sure that we don't lose, I'll count it as a points gain in the grand scheme of things. And I'm sure we'll look back later in the season that way because we would have Spurs to play at home. We would have time to have our revenge. We would have time to beat them and then get our 6-pointer over them. I'd call it a point gain. It keeps our run of 5 unbeaten in the league going. If we had lost today before the international break, it would have been horrible. But the media narrative would be different. People will look at us differently. They'll talk about our resilience throughout. Perhaps the only person who would come under severe fire is the one that we've already fight. And he deserves it. He should reflect over the next 2 weeks, come back after the international break, and score some bloody goals to make up for what he's done.
De Ligt says last year we lost against Nottingham Forest and Tottenham 1-0. But last week and today, you see we have fire in our bellies to fight and get a point. The season is long. Drawing is more important than losing.
That's
And
basically
that's
the
what
point I'm making.
Matthijs. Exactly. That's the reason why I'm reading it. I disagree with all of you, but you, it's okay. I still have
I
pains
get
in
it.
my heart.
It's annoying. It
I
hurts.
still like
It hurts.
it's
But
painful. I mean, it's
Kwame, I
it's
promise you, I'm
annoying.
promising you, you will look back at this in a few months and then you would appreciate that the fact that we didn't lose these games. Do you know what could happen? It could happen, yeah, that we'll probably win the next 4 out of 5 or 6. And if you put that run together, you'll be talking about 10, 11 Premier League games unbeaten. And that will probably fire us
Well,
firmly into the top 4 before Christmas. So do not despair.
let's see.
Do not despair.
Benjamin Sesko, we have to see. We think he has a problem, but let's see. It's a little frustration. It's a little frustration, but also pride at the response of the players at the response to the second goal from Tottenham. This is the tip of the iceberg. We are beginning to become a strong team, so we have a lot to do. But I heard the late interview after the game with TNT or former BT Sports, and he said at the start of the second half they were a little bit tired. I got confused for a second. We are playing one game a week, Kwame. Why are we
I
tired?
want to believe what he's trying to say is lethargic. You see, sometimes these players, when they are speaking from a different language, things are a bit lost in translation. Lethargy and fatigue
Eh.
may be the same. What I want to
Autographo,
believe,
Masa.
oh, I know, I
Autographo.
know.
Wasn't tired.
I live with
Wasn't tired.
Germans
Wasn't
and
tired.
Dutch people. Sometimes I hear them say that sometimes, and you have to translate it in your mind to understand in the context of what he was trying to say. I believe he meant lethargy rather than fatigue because we came out lethargic. Lethargy for some people is tiredness or fatigue, but I believe strongly that's not what he meant to say. We were lethargic when we came out. Some may say it's fatigue, but it's tiredness, but that's the wrong use of the word. I don't think that's what he was trying to say.
Anyway, in Bumo, that was a big drama, but in the end, we managed to come back in the game. As I said, if you don't win, don't lose. We have to work to do on these goals that we concede. You know, when the game was ongoing, before we wrap things up, when the game was ongoing, there's this thing in my mind. We are sometimes very solid at the back, but the goals we sometimes concede are out of nothing. Like I don't know how to describe it, but we don't look like conceding. But you have that at the back, you have it at the back of your mind that there is a moment, a certain slip, a certain poor clearance or something that will lead to a goal. I don't know how long we cut these things out because I believe, and that is where Arsenal are at the moment. Though you wouldn't even
You
have
get a
those
sign,
moments where
that they are
you
going to even
a
concede.
sign that they are going to concede. Well, maybe someone will say we are still in the development phase
That's the point
with
that I was
regards
going
to
to
where
make
we are.
exactly.
Well,
Because
maybe that's
this
the
same
development
Arsenal that you are
phase.
praising, we've come to ridicule them in title races for conceding very useless goals in certain games that have actually cost them. You are looking at it in terms of now. We haven't gotten to the level of Arsenal. I think that issue is
Maybe I have to accept it.
I think it's purely mental. It's purely mental because we have one clean sheet. We haven't
Yeah.
kept a lot of clean sheets. And so we begin to get clean sheets the same way we are avoiding defeats. We wouldn't get that confidence that we are going to see out games 1-0, 2-0, those kind of things. We have to sort of go on a certain run where we go like 3 clean sheets in a row, yeah? And the goalkeeper and the defense look at
Yeah.
themselves and they go like, you know what? We are going to take pride in actually keeping clean sheets because to make the jobs of the forwards easier. All they need to do is just score 1 goal and then we'll see it out.
Yeah.
I don't think we are there yet. When Maguire went off, one of the biggest concerns that I had was all these crosses coming in. At the end of the day, one of them is going to hit us. I just knew it. I actually
Yeah.
posted it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I just knew that one of those crosses will hit us. Because when we are playing that deep, he clears more crosses than most defenders. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when we are not playing deep, that's when he struggles. But in such a circumstance, you need a Harry Maguire just to be in there because the crosses will just be coming in like rain. So yeah, it is what it is. But the fight back is what we have to look at, in my opinion. We are showing
Yeah.
resilience. It's frustrating. I know you're frustrated. There'll be a lot of fans that are frustrated.
Yeah, I am.
I am often frustrated, but take it from me. Seeing the fact that I'm not this frustrated, you have to take it from me that there is a positive to this, but you would only appreciate it later on in the season. See, we'll come back after the international break. Me, do you know I'm calm? I've seen the fixtures. I was praying I will get over this hump without any defeats. Why do you think I said in the preview that the worst that I expect from this game is a draw? I'm not even confident we'll win, but I know we won't lose. And if we don't lose, I know the road is clear. Because I've seen the fixtures after the international break. It'd be cool, oh. It'd be cool, sir. It'd be cool. See, if I told you 3 weeks ago that we'll go to Spurs, we'll go to Anfield, the 2 big teams left for us to play in the first round of the season, and we'll come out with 4 points out of 6, how would you feel?
I'm not
Be
sure
honest.
anyone would have believed that. Yeah, I'm not sure anyone would have believed that.
You wouldn't have even
I mean,
believed it for starters.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, I don't see anything wrong over the last month, the last 4 weeks. I feel like we've gotten the results ideally. If I'd looked back about a month and a half ago, I would have wished for. In fact, I think we've even done more than I would have wished for. I don't want to be disappointed after the international break because the fixtures are kind. Kwame, the fixtures are so kind. If we are serious, we should go like 5-6 wins in a row so that United Strand can cut his hair. I'm serious. Calm down and go and look at the fixtures again, and you know what I'm talking about.
All right, thank you very much, Kwame, for being a part of the podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, liking the video. It's always great to have you being a part of us. Thank you, Baz of Mosquito Repellent Bracelet, for being a proud sponsor of this podcast. My name is Kwame. I'll see you with Kwame. We'll see you in the course of the week during the international break. You know we are going on international break, so there isn't any fixture coming up, but we'll see. For our brothers in Nigeria, I wish I could say I wish you all the best.
You don't wish them good luck.
See how it goes. No. Have a great time. See you next. Bye-bye.